All organizations function in their own way. They have a certain style, a structure, and even a culture within the organization that influences how it does business and how it interacts with other organizations and the public at large. They also have a certain way of communicating within the organization and outside of it. A project manager must analyze the culture and styles of different organizations and deconstruct the management framework in which project decisions are made. In this lesson, we'll discuss the factors that influence an organization and, in turn, can influence the organization's project. The influences on an organization form the vision, values, and beliefs of an organization, and they become the character of an organization. They're usually developed over time and are a common experience within the organization. Many organizations have created mission statements that share their vision, values, and beliefs with their employees. These traits are documented and serve to guide the influences within the organization. They're also used to present the organization's vision, values, and beliefs to their customers, clients, and the general public. There are also factors like the environment the organization operates in that can affect the company work ethic, its code of conduct, and its mission statement. These influences are called the enterprise environmental factors. Enterprise environmental factors are some of the first and most important inputs a project manager will consider while developing a project management plan and throughout the project. They affect just about every process in a project in all kinds of ways, and they can have an effect on the outcome of the deliverable and the project's overall success. Think about the global marketplace. The way business is done in Japan is very different from the way they conduct business in Italy. Even though the development and use of electronic communication has helped to facilitate and improve project management over the past 20 years, the fact that the Japanese and the Italians approach work with a different work ethic has not. Understanding the enterprise environmental factors that affect each organization is crucial in effective communication and critical to the project's success. One of the enterprise environmental factors that affects an organization is its organizational structure. Most companies are organized as either a functional, matrix, or projectized organization. The influence and authority a project manager has in each of these organizations can vary, from having little or no control to having absolute control and the complete responsibility of the success of a project. In a functional organization, the project manager may have to report to the functional manager. A functional manager is a person who runs a functional department. An example of a functional department is the HR department, the IT department, or the sales team. In this kind of organization, the project manager's overall responsibility may amount to little more than being an arm of the functional manager. For instance, a project manager in the creative department of an advertising agency may be responsible for creating the layout and content of a magazine, but they may have little control over the elements of the project they are working on. Things like the budget and the creative direction may be the responsibility of the department's creative director, who is the department's functional manager. In a projectized organization, the project manager has a high degree of authority on the project. Although they may have a team of people that they direct, they alone are responsible for the objectives and the completion of the project. Between these two extremes are the matrix organizations. In a matrix organization, the project manager's authority and influence will vary. The matrix organization may be weak, meaning the project manager has some authority, or it may be strong, meaning the project manager may have a lot of authority, or it may be balanced, where the project manager's authority is moderate. In all cases, there is a hierarchy of responsibilities that the project manager falls into. This is usually outlined in a company's organizational chart, but it won't necessarily say, "We are a balanced matrix organization" in the header line. An interesting thing you can try is to take a look at the company you work for. Analyze its organizational chart and determine what kind of matrix organization you work for. Another one of the first and most important influences on a project is the organizational process assets. These are the things that a company uses to conduct its business. These OPAs can include hard assets like computer systems and programs, and the documents and forms that an organization uses. It may also include assets like the different kinds of equipment they have, and even offices and office furniture. Project governance is a critical element of any project. While responsibilities of an organization's business as usual activities are laid down in their policies, procedures, and arrangements, rarely does an organization have an equivalent framework that governs the development of its projects. For instance, the organizational chart provides a good indication of who in the organization is responsible for a particular activity. But unless an organization has specifically developed a project governance policy, it's unlikely that a project manager will find a similar chart for the organization's project development activities. Because of this, the role of project governance is to provide a framework that is logical and repeatable that governs an organization's projects and its capital investments. Projects require a lot of flexibility, and most times, the hierarchical structure and mechanisms within an organization's policies and procedures usually don't allow for speedy decision-making. Project governance overcomes this by drawing out the key decision makers and provides a structured approach to conducting both business as usual activities and an organization's project activities. Consequently, the project governance framework that's established for a project should remain separate from the organization's structure. This helps to avoid the serial decision-making process associated with organizational hierarchies. To compete in today's fast-paced global market, business-improving and business-changing projects are being initiated by all kinds of functional, projectized, and matrix organizations. Within the different types of organizations, enterprise environmental factors, organizational process assets, culture, style, and governance are all factors a project manager will have to understand, deal with, and effectively use in order to successfully complete a project.